Hey folks, Serpent Trading here. Thought it was about time for a quick update on Bacanora Lithium, and just looking at the weekly chart here, you can see that we still have quite a few red weeks since we last looked at the chart. But last week we were showing some signs of support, and this week so far we've been trading around the same level. Overall we're looking at a decline of around 30 to 40% off the highs. So let's check out some of the news. So we had some news on Monday via an RNS dated 1st of March 2021, and it simply states that the Chinese government has given appropriate consent for Ganfeng to proceed with its increased stake in the Bacanora project following the company's fundraise and dilution. So in essence this means that Bacanora will have another £21.8 million or $31 million, as it said on a previous RNS, to add to the $65 million gained in the last raise. And yes, this does mean the shares are going to be diluted once more, but this should be it. This should be a fully funded project now to production with no reason to raise again. And I believe this dilution should already be priced in, but we'll consider that when we get back to the chart. Another RNS worth highlighting was back from the 10th of February, and this one is laying out that the environmental management is taking place before the major earthworks can get started. My background is in civil engineering, so I'm pretty interested in this whole process and looking forward to seeing some project updates as the site work progresses. Also indicates that upgrading of the access road is underway, and we also have some rough dates. Second quarter of this 2021. It's going to be the end of the tender process for these road upgrades, and also the start of equipment supplies from Ganfeng. Overall, I think this shows that the company's getting its act together, and as Peter Secker highlights, it's important to note that Bacanora Lithium are no longer an exploration company. They're now a development company, and in just over 2 years' time, all things going well, there'll be a lithium producer, production hopefully starting mid-2023. If we drop back into the daily, you can see there was a bit of a bounce around the Monday after the news, but it hasn't really followed through here. Last Wednesday's doji seems to indicate some signs of support, but as I say, we just need to wait a bit to let the price settle down after this funding news. I think it's worth remembering that up here we had a market cap of about 150 million, and down here after the dilution the company still had a market cap of about 150 million. So in essence the company hasn't really gained or lost any real value, but of course as individual shareholders we have. If this is the first time you've held a company through a fundraise, through additional shares and dilution, then I understand this might be concerning, but the underlying point to remember is that these additional funds will unlock the potential of the company going forward. Some have said how the fundraise was done shows poor management and that it was done in a rush or it was done too cheap. But it sold out at 45p within 2 hours with only a day's notice, and if Ganfeng are happy to buy more of these diluted shares at 45p to maintain the size of their stake, then why aren't we? Which incidentally is exactly what I was doing last week when we had this downturn, and if we do see a retest down here or even a test into this level of support around the 30s, I'll definitely be picking up some more. So this whole drive down has been driven by the raise and kind of shows how fundamentals can drive the price away from technical levels. So talking of fundamentals, in his last couple of interviews, Peter Secker did mention that the first stage production could be up to 20,000 tonnes per annum, and possibly up to 50,000 tonnes in stage 2. Both numbers, I'm noting, are up from the presentation PDF, and I think the numbers that have been posted on the presentations have been cautious throughout, and we could potentially see some overachievement in the coming years. Confidence hasn't really been returned to Bacanora since a failed raise a couple of years back, but now we are sitting on a fully funded project with minimum risk. Not risk-free, still unknowns, the Mexican government being one, and maybe some of the cartels in the region as well. But the way I see it, the unwavering backing of Ganfeng is a big sign that something serious is going to happen here. So, as always, if you got anything from the video, smash that like button. I'm still very much into the research on the topic of Bitcoin and its deeper workings. Many books have been read and countless hours of videos and courses have been watched. Have my opinions changed? Well, all I can say is that my knowledge on the subject has definitely increased and I'm still looking into it. I'm now thinking, instead of just making a Bitcoin video of my views, I'm going to make a series around Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies more broadly, and that way it should be easier to keep the videos more bite-sized. I know there's a lot of YouTube videos on the subject already, but I found a lot of them seem to explain things in a very childlike way. I appreciate that I need to get some rudimentary background, that I have some sort of base knowledge, and if you have no knowledge at all, then just a little summary of what's going on. But I want to be scratching the surface a bit deeper, so I'm thinking a series is the best way around that. Anyway, on that note, I'll be leaving you, and I will see you in the next video.